Well, welcome, Beth Cole. I'm so excited you're here today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Christy. I'm honored.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm just going to jump in and start us off with how I first heard about you and saw your art was through my cousin's wife, Karen, your sister,
Yes, my
right?
sister.
And she mentioned that you were a painter a year ago, and I looked you up, and oh my gosh, I just fell in love with your work
Oh, you're
and
so, thank you.
immediately ordered your calendar, the
Yes.
the page calendar, and I'm going to show a picture of that. It's worth looking at that. And but then it's been a year, and I met you in person at
Which was
Thanksgiving.
so fun. Fun.
It
Yeah.
was, it was.
Yeah.
And when you meet someone and I know them, we know each other. That's how I felt. We're
Me
old
too.
friends. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about this community, is that it's easygoing, fun,
Mm.
relaxed. Messy is good. It's fine.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good way.
I
Yeah.
want to share my screen though and show some of your. I want to go to. Can you
Oh,
see your
yeah.
website here? Okay.
Yeah.
I
You're
encourage
so,
yeah.
you're so fancy. Good job.
And then I can even go like this. Let's see, I'm trying to be all techie here.
You are techie.
We can,
Yeah.
I can put us in the middle, or who knows, but
Show yourself. Show
I know,
yourself.
I know, that's not really nice. That's kind of rude. Well, let me just go through. We don't have to see us for here, but her website is beautiful, bethcoleart.com. Easy to remember. And I love the little quotes.
Oh,
And first thing you want to do is go to about, and your artist statement is just so beautiful.
thank you.
And landscape, yes, seems like that's, and I guess I'll let everyone read this, but create a peaceful and calming piece of art. I just
That's
want
the
to
goal.
say, yeah,
We have enough stress.
yeah.
We have enough of the things, all the things. Sometimes you need a little margin.
Yes, and what in floral design, what I
Mhm.
stress with my students is you really want to bring out a feeling in an arrangement. It's not just a dozen roses. What does it say? How you want the observer to feel something. It's
Yeah,
when they look at your arrangement and your when I look at your paintings, it's not, oh, that's a field, a Nebraska field.
mhm.
It has that calming and peaceful feeling to it.
Well, thank you. I hope that comes through. And part of it is the viewer. It's what they're feeling, what their history is, what their stories are that relate to a field or Nebraska or country or anything.
Yeah.
It's probably not a finished sentence, but the viewer can finish it, or the idea, they can finish it.
Yeah, and that leads us to you live in Nebraska. You're from
Mhm,
Nebraska.
mhm.
Okay. And where is my picture? I wanted to show more of that. Let's see if I can get it up here. I before we dive into all of that, yes, she has a second. This is a maybe a third or fourth career. I don't know, but if you read her
Yes.
bio, she's
I've done lots of things. I'll tell you.
she's had a lot going on, and you definitely want to join her inner circle because she sends out wonderful emails that are not spammy. They're just perfect. They're just little tidbits,
Thanks.
and
I try to give something. I try to be a giver, not ask all the time.
yeah. Yes, and you're very techy because you have. How often do you send out these emails?
I just do once a month. It's
Hmm.
not a big deal, but I've been doing it for goodness sakes, 2014, maybe a long time. And I don't think I've missed. I need to get my December one out or I will break my promise. Well, I've written it, but I don't have it out yet. And what is today? 18th? Yeah, 19th.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah, it's
I need to get
flying
it out.
by.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for being a reader and thank you for being on my list and thank you for buying my calendar and being so nice. Thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
well, yes, you've just created such a wonderful community, and then I love how it's like I said, nothing feels salesy, but yet you have all of the parts. And if I
Mhm.
want to be a part of your world, I can get the calendar. There's so many different ways I can access your
Wow.
art, and I'm really excited to dive into that. And
Yeah.
of course, you've been in magazines and featured in museums. And anything else you want to explain about your bio?
Well, I didn't go to art school. Okay. I grew up, you said I live in Nebraska. Yes, that's right. And I grew up on a farm, okay, a wheat farm. And my first love was piano. I'm a music nerd all the way. I went to college on a piano scholarship, never knew what I wanted to do ever. Maybe you went to art school. You
I
maybe
did.
had an idea. I'm an artist, but I didn't have that. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Consequently, I did lots of things. I graduated with a degree in human services administration, did a bunch of social work, nonprofit work, fundraising, things like that. And then along the way, I married my husband, who's an entrepreneur. He grew up in the business world, and I didn't know anything about business, but he's a business guy. And from him, I learned about what it takes to, if you have an idea, if you want to do something, how you move it forward. And I give him all the credit for that because he taught me a lot of things. And we had businesses, family businesses. We had a manufacturing company. We have real estate and things like that. As the kids, we have two kids, two grown children, a daughter, and who's married and lives in Omaha, and our son lives in Broken Bow, and he works with Gary, and he's also an entrepreneur. And we have three grandsons. But anyway, after our kids were out of high school and out of the home, then I had these other ideas that I wanted to pursue of my own apart from our family businesses. And one of them was a web design company. And I had a company called The Web Servant for probably, I don't know, 12 years. I did it quite a long time.
Wow.
I learned a lot from that. That's where the art thing, the design, all that was always there with me. I just needed time and took lots of classes and learned, and I absolutely loved that. But I got very busy with that, and after the kids were out of the home, I've always wanted to paint. I need to go. I need to do it because I'm not getting any younger. I pushed back from the computer and started learning as much as I could and experimenting as much as I could with art. I said I didn't go to art school, but you can learn a lot from videos and watching people paint and classes online and things, as you know. That was my training ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can tell you about how I got started, my first painting I sold, all that kind of stuff. Just I don't
Yeah.
want to
So
blab on too much. I'm usually the one asking the questions. I'm the back of the room person, okay? I don't want to talk too much.
no, gosh, there's so much there. I guess the first thing is the entrepreneur part. I think with my students and community, that's always very scary. That's one of the scariest things
Mhm,
is okay, you have to start worrying about your taxes and profit and
mhm.
all of that. And it's kind of taking, it's not a sure thing. What advice would you give to someone that's, oh, I want to do this?
Well, I think it's good to start small, and
Mhm.
don't put the pressure on yourself to be your primary breadwinner with your budding art career when you're first starting, because that's too much pressure. If you're working another job or have some other source of income, and then you develop your painting practice on the side or in the evenings, on the weekends, or whatever, I would advise that to begin with until you get
Yeah.
some traction. And certainly it just takes a while, especially if you're starting. I mean, I was in my 50s when I started, late to the game. And I knew I had to be very careful with my time. And I was very particular about who I studied with because I wanted to only study with the people who I felt I could move forward. And it was the style that I appreciated because there's all kinds of art, right?
I think that's a really key point because a lot of us, if we are interested in some kind of form of art, we kind of dip our toe in, but we dip our toe in maybe not the best. I did that for a while. I didn't have any formal floral design training, but it wasn't until again I got my 50s. I'm going to get the master certification in Europe. I wish I would have done that 20 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah. Good
But
on you. Good on
Well,
you.
but you don't know. Good for you that I'm gonna study from the best, and it's just go for it. It's
Mhm.
scary, isn't it, to
It
be
is.
with these masters and
Yeah,
ugh.
it is. Another way I learned though was from master studies, and you know what that is. If there's a someone who's passed away, the famous painters, Sargent and
Mhm.
Corot and Constable and those kinds of people, get George Ennis, those kinds of people. Whatever art you gravitate toward, then you can choose to study that artist and do copies of their painting, not for your own gain, but just for to learn. And
Yeah.
I did a ton of that kind of thing. It taught me a lot about composition, color mixing,
Mhm.
atmosphere, all those kinds of things. That was very, very helpful.
And I love that because I think in this day and age, there's that word comparisonitis. People feel, oh, if I'm copying someone, I'm not being
Mhm.
authentic. And I really stress you can try to copy someone all day, but you have your own unique voice,
Mhm.
and it's going to come out regardless. And I love that. I looked at the painters that you studied under,
Mhm.
and none of them are your work. Even though that is such
Right.
a it's you went your own path, but you
Yeah.
took away. Yeah.
I've had really great teachers who didn't try to make me into who they were, which is that's a sign of a great teacher, I think, is because they want to
Hmm.
have the person do their own thing. Yeah, that's really, really a good way. Yes, that taught me a lot. And it took me a while before, probably 3 or 4 years into painting before I ever went to a live workshop with someone. I just did video. I just stayed at home and just practiced and miles of canvas. That's what gets you. It's the best thing you can do to improve your painting. And in my opinion, anyway,
Tell me
that's what
more.
worked for me.
Yeah, I that you were cognizant of your time, and could you
Mhm.
expand on that? How you made sure that you stayed consistent, and because I know it's frustrating and overwhelming in the beginning when I don't know anything. It's hard to show
Mhm.
up sometimes. Did you ever have those days where oh, I don't know if I can do this?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yes. Of course. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. It's between the ears is really, really, really important. The mindset and how you feel going into the studio. But just showing up. When I first started painting, I painted in the laundry room, just really small little place. And then I got asked to do bigger paintings as I moved to the bedroom. And then I got asked to do bigger paintings, and then I moved here to the studio where I am now. It was just a progression. But just showing up every day and showing up when some people are night people, some people are morning people, some people maybe don't, maybe they're all the way through the day, but I'm definitely a morning person. I made it a habit to do my painting first thing before I started anything else, before I started paying bills, doing office work, returning phone calls,
Yeah.
computer work, whatever. I would just come down to the studio, and that's when I could think the best. That's when I was the freshest, and that's when I did my best work. And that's what worked for
Yeah.
me. Other people might to work from 10 till 2, 10 at night till 2 in the morning. Maybe that's their best time. So whatever is your best time when you're the most alert, I would say use that time for and give yourself permission to use that time for yourself, for your painting, to develop your painting. And
I
I think
love that.
be happy with the results of that. It's a
So
real.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't do that when I first started because I'm married to. I'm a business owner with my husband. I had a lot of responsibilities in addition to painting. So I had office work to do, phone calls, la 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 la. So I would do that and then I would go paint. But after a while, I said, I'm going to flip that around. I'm going to paint first. And it made a big difference. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
And also making your studio your happy place, making
Mm.
it a place where you want to be, whether that's with the music you're listening to or how it looks. Mine's nothing fancy at all. It's just a basement room, and I painted all the walls white so that it would be white down here. And my husband put overhead lights in and stuff. But I have some things that are important to me that are here in the studio, and it feels good for me to come down here. I like it. I like coming here.
I like that.
Mhm.
Yes. So I'm imagining your You're practicing, you're painting in the beginning, you're trying it out, you're seeing if maybe if you even are a painter, probably in the beginning,
Mhm,
you're like, let's see if this you were doing it for yourself, not so much
mhm,
to make money in the beginning, right? You weren't
right.
like, and then when did you say, because a lot of times it's again, it's that imposter thing of like, am I a floral designer? Like I
Mhm.
just started. When did you call yourself a painter and say, yes, this is what I
Well,
am?
when I started selling, it still took me a long time. I would call myself a painter, but I wouldn't call myself an artist. For it took a while,
Oh.
but I opened up an Etsy shop. Is how I started. When that first order came in, my first painting, I I started crying. First, I
Oh.
almost fell off the chair, and then more people. Etsy was really good to me, and it was a little smaller. This would have been probably 2015, 2016, something like that.
Mhm.
Then I started getting commissions from Etsy. That's why I
Mm.
had to move to the bigger room because this lady wanted a really big painting. Then I started to feel more confident that I was on the right track. And then that's when I got a website and my newsletter and all of that. But I started out on Etsy, just kind of
Okay.
dipping my toe in the water.
How do you market on Etsy? Did
I don't
you
know
do
how
any
people found
marketing or?
me. I don't know how people found me.
Mm.
If it was probably the way you title your paintings, like with my work in web design, I understand about the keywords and how it's important to put the things that describe the painting in the title or in the description.
Mhm.
Maybe that was part of it. I don't really know how they found me,
Yeah.
but they did.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And the same with my website. After I had the website, then it has been very good to me. People have found me and just out of the blue and purchased paintings, ordered a commission, things like that. It's
I love that.
it's been humbling and very joyful. Very joyful.
Well, wonderful. Well, there's a couple of questions that I like to ask all of my
Yes,
guests. And one of them is what's a challenge that you have overcome and how did it shape you?
that's a great question, and I thought about that a lot, and I think for me, it was starting late because I feel like I have finally found what I loved to do, and I have so much regret over not starting sooner because I just feel all those years I missed because I was doing something else that wasn't really what I was supposed to be doing. Anyway, I alluded to this already. I just was very careful with my time and studied with people who I thought were good teachers, and they were good teachers. And I was very intentional about that. I tried to take a workshop at least once a year. I tried to also take care of myself where I would have enough energy, where I would exercise every day, and so that I was able to go out and plein air paint because it takes stamina and energy to be able to go outside and paint. And I
Yeah,
love doing that. And I want to be able to do that. I still try to keep up with all of that pretty regularly.
I love that.
Hmm.
And then if there's some pieces of advice that you could give women starting out today in the creative field. Again, it's probably they're in their 40s and 50s, starting out, starting a new thing, or their family, all their kids are grown, so now it's time for them to concentrate on them. What's some more advice? You've already given lots, but
Well,
any others?
that's a good question. That's a good question. And I wrote some things down to make sure I remember. I'd say be very kind to yourself
Mm,
because, as is true for most people, you have your whole life to develop an aesthetic. You have taste and you understand what you like and what you don't. But there's a gap between what you like and what you want to appear on the canvas and what you're able to do skill wise when you first start.
mhm.
And it just takes a while for those two to come together, where
Mm,
what you're painting you love because it's your aesthetic. You know what I
yes,
mean? It takes a while to get there. To be kind to yourself and don't give up. Threw so many paintings away, got so frustrated, but after a while, more of them started turning out, and it just takes a while. Don't give up and be kind to yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing, I think I've already talked about this, just show up every day. Even if you don't, if
Mm-hmm.
you have limited time, even 15 minutes, just go, just be kind to yourself that way too. Because when you take yourself seriously, then you'll see the difference. Makes a big difference.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. And I think, and this goes along with that too, is to create more than you consume. It's easy to consume. We all do it,
Mhm.
scrolling or whatever. But creating is life giving. It is so life giving. And
Mm,
it's you just lose yourself in it. And when you're done, you're like, oh wow, that wasn't there before. Look at something, something has blossomed to take a
that
word
is, yes.
from the plural.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
That is so
Um,
true.
and consuming is more, it's a drain. It's a drain on your energy, it's a drain on your emotions a lot of times, depending on what it is.
Yeah,
But what I mean, you know what I'm trying to say.
I do. I do. I do.
So
If ever, if I haven't created in a couple days and I sit down and create whatever it is, flowers or painting
or
or
even
whatever,
writing or anything,
writing,
cooking, anything.
yes, cooking, yeah. And then you're like, why am I not doing more of this? You
Right.
forget. It's so easy
Yeah,
to forget because we get
right.
caught up in the world, what we should be doing.
Uh-huh. And there's also resistance is real. And if you feel that resistance to step up to the canvas or to get started or whatever, that's not, you're not making that up because it's really there. Just talk it out, talk it away from yourself and go and just start. And you'll be glad you did.
One
No.
of the things, yeah, that I heard, I think I can't remember what artist said it, but they said just act like if you're having resistance, start your first piece, start whatever piece, and just say this is just practice. Don't just say it doesn't have this. This isn't the real thing. We're just playing, right? It's
Uh,
something to just get around that
I think
fear.
that's good. Yeah. I think that's really good
Um,
because then that takes the pressure off because you don't have to perform.
right.
And that's the thing with art because it's visual. It's everyone judges you. And, you know, it's vulnerable. It's,
Oh,
here you are, it's out there, and everybody can see whether you want
yes.
them to see it or not. But it's you out on the canvas. It's you have to be. It takes a lot of vulnerability, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it because when that painting connects with somebody, it's how did that happen? And it's wonderful. It's such a good
And
feeling.
they're thankful to have that piece from you, and it's just perfect. And especially for me, living in South Carolina, to have a little bit of Nebraska in my home, it's
Right.
just it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two things that I'm thinking about. One is just curious. You did have to study under some master. You didn't have to, but you
Mhm.
chose to study and to take it seriously. How did you approach your family with that? I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to spend some money. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
invest in myself and do this. Was that
That's a
not
really
a big deal or?
that's a really good question. And it wasn't for us because our kids were out of the home. It was just my husband and I. And he understands that. And he's go. You should go. It's good. I support you. And he's been
Yeah.
wonderful. He has been when I first started painting, he bought $300 worth of paint and said,
Wow.
go. He wanted me to do it as much as I did. And there's it's hard to put that into words how much that means.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of women maybe it's their own belief that their family is not going to be supportive. I think the family
Mhm.
will be supportive, but I don't, you said permission. I don't want to give
Right,
myself permission to do this. But then once they do, then it's everyone's gung ho, go for it, right?
right. There was this artist camp not very far from where I live that they had brought in national instructors, and all these artists from Nebraska would come to it every summer. And I told Gary, I hadn't been painting very long, maybe 2 years or three. I said, I'd really like to go to that. And he says, we bought it for my birthday. And I went and I was in over my head because I didn't even know the first, they were talking about values. I didn't even know I didn't understand value. What do you mean? And stuff. It was good and eye-opening, but that's what I mean by my husband is supportive. He probably knew I was going to be over my head, but he wanted me to go.
Oh,
And I'm glad I got to go. And I met a lot of
oh.
people
I've met Gary. He's nice. Now he's even, now in my eyes he's even nicer. I love Gary.
there. Yeah. And you are too. He thinks the same of you.
Oh, thank you. And then the other question that we always have is pricing, how to determine
Oh,
pricing. Not so much what you charge, but how did you come up with your prices
mhm.
and how did you come up with increasing your prices?
Okay, that's a good question too, and it's a hard one. It's something I struggle with too. But when I first started, of course, they were very low. I should have been charging more, but I was happy someone would buy something when I first started. But after a while, I I listened to podcasts. I listened to lots of artist interviews and things like that, and tried to learn from other artists. And I come to realize that if I'm way below other people who are similar to me in where I am on my art journey, if my prices are way under theirs, then that it doesn't do them a favor at all
Mm,
because everyone is not like I'm not going to be like everyone else, but to try to be somewhat uniform with people who are about the same level that you are.
mhm.
And it's hard to find that, but you can do research. And then I tried to then I came up with a square inch thing. It's so much $1 a square inch or whatever. I'm terrible with math. That's probably really wrong. But that's the kind of formula I would use. And then
I've heard of that formula.
it's a higher amount for a smaller paintings and then it goes lower to the middle and then as it gets higher, a bigger painting then it's a lower price per square inch just to keep it's not really exorbitant. That's what I've
Right.
been doing for the past.
Okay.
You can Google it. You can find it's by the square inch, I think, is how you do it, pricing by the square inch.
Yeah, and I thought it was just across the board, no matter what size, it would be a square inch. And you said then it gets your big painting is just way like
Exorbitant.
it's yeah, 10. But now that I can see where that would correlate with floral design because if you have just a single rose but you have all this stuff with it, it's yeah, you may be higher on per square inch, but when you get to a big arrangement, you're standing in one place. It's less time because I don't know how to,
Mhm.
but it would be, I can see where that would, because we go down in labor or price a little bit if we do something really big, because you're
Sure.
right there. Sometimes,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It's,
Yeah, it
yeah.
correlates. Yeah.
And,
And also whether your work is in galleries or not, I'm not in any galleries really. I'm in an online gallery, but not a physical gallery. But if you are in a physical gallery, the pricing there should be the same as what you offer on your website. There's no difference. Even though if it sells at
okay.
the gallery, they'll take 50%, sometimes 40%, whatever. But that's
Yeah.
they bring to the table too. Galleries are wonderful for the artists because they
Hmm.
have access to people that you don't know and collectors and they do events and things like that. There's trade-offs for everything. But just to keep your pricing consistent across on your website and in the gallery, it's the same no matter where they buy it.
And then did you increase it over time as you got more
Yeah,
proficient? You, okay.
and as my framing got better, I really tried to up my game with my framing and make it the painting
Mm,
completely not quality all the way with in terms of the frame too.
hmm.
And that costs a little bit more. Part of
Yeah.
it's that. And then depending on how much some paintings require quite a bit of time, more time
Oh,
than others.
yes. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's always, you just have to feel good about it. It has to sit
Mhm,
with you. And
mhm.
yeah.
And if your paintings, if you can't keep enough paintings in stock because they're selling so much,
Mm,
then that means your prices are too low. You could
okay.
raise your prices a little bit. And if you're not selling any, your prices might be too high.
That's true. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. You've been painting now for how many
Since
years? Nine, 10?
2012, yeah, 2012, about 13, 14 years. Not
Okay.
terrible long, but it's
Yeah.
been it's been just a joyful journey. I just have loved it so much. And I'm a woman of faith, and I thank God so much for what He has done.
Definitely.
Just that is where I get my center, and my anxiety is not life giving, and I try to keep centered and grounded.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for
Hmm.
bringing that into it because it's so big, so
Yeah,
important.
it's a big deal. Yeah, it's a very big deal.
Hmm.
It's made a huge difference for me, and trusting. I don't know who's going to buy this painting. Maybe no one. I'm okay, even if no one buys it. Yes, I'm still
Yes.
okay. I'm still all right.
Yes.
I don't have to sell
It's
my work to be okay, but I have sold a lot of work. I'm thankful for that.
what's next for you? Are you just in a wonderful place and you're going to continue on, or do you have some other challenge or fun challenges coming up,
Uh,
or
this year, I focused on commissions and plein air work
mm,
mostly, and that was really fun, and it was a great balance because if you're I've done a lot of shows in Nebraska. I've been so fortunate to show at a lot of the galleries and stuff. And if I want to stay close to home, I've done a lot of shows around Nebraska, and it costs a lot of money to do a show. You have to put together
mm,
all of the paintings, you have to frame everything, and it's a risk because you don't know. But if you do
mm,
commission, then you know that you are going to get paid. And I like to do commissions. I don't, that's not everything that I do. I've been invited to a couple things this year that will do. I'll participate in those things. And then I want to focus on plein air. I love doing plein air. And last year, or this year, I guess it was in May of this year, was my first time doing a plein air event. And I did an event in Pennsylvania.
oh
And it
wow,
was fantastic. It was so much fun. And it was a week long, a week of painting. And then at the end, there was a collector show, and yeah,
oh,
all the artists have their work up on a wall, and it was just so much fun and really well done and very organized. And I would like to do more things like that. And you have to apply, of course, to get in. I was so surprised that I got
mm.
into this one, but I did, and it was fun. I'd like to do more of those. So
What would be your next trip? Where would you want to do plein air besides Nebraska?
I'd probably do ones that are a little bit closer. I don't know. There's some in Iowa. There's some in Colorado. Some in
Hmm.
Texas, Minnesota,
Yeah.
and I have some on my radar. So we'll see. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, good. I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, thanks. And if you want to ever come and paint with me, Christy, we'll go
Oh,
outside and paint. We'll do paint plein air if you like to paint plein air. I know you do.
I do. I do. It's in floral design that translates to we'll do outdoor weddings and we get to do
Yeah.
elaborate setups and work outside and it's so nice. But now, I'm thinking of those winds in
Hmm.
Nebraska and the bugs and all of
Hmm.
that. There's a lot that you're dealing with.
Yeah, there really is. There really is.
Tornadoes, all that. But that
Hmm.
makes it exciting, I guess. But it's just being part of nature is and getting your hands
Yeah, and
and being
like if it's
grounded.
really windy, I'm not going to go out because my easel has blown over so many times, and now I hang my go bag on there or my backpack so that it doesn't fall over. But it's spilled many times
Well,
from the wind.
I will take you up on that. I would
Okay.
love to do that. One
Yeah.
of these plein air. Oh man, that sounds so neat.
Yeah, you just come. We'll just go out and we'll have a great time. It'll be fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I would love for you to any parting words of encouragement and inspiration for our viewers.
You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Even though I got a late start. And I think it's really important what you think because we always have that little voice that's telling us, "Oh, this is terrible. I'm not any good." La la la. But it's the other kind and gentle voice, the voice of prayer, the voice of centering yourself that is the one to listen to. And
Mm.
that positivity is will make a big difference for you, I think.
Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, I appreciate your taking the time tonight. And oh my gosh, I feel so honored. Thank you, Beth.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you for having me. It's been a joy to talk to you, and you're just great. You've accomplished so much in your life now. I feel like I want to turn the table and ask you all of your advice.
Okay, well, we can do that another time.
Another time, yeah.
I think Garrett's my husband. Oh, you have Gary. I've got Garrett. He's cooking
Yeah.
steaks downstairs.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, Beth. You have a wonderful evening and a wonderful holiday
Yes.
season, and I can't wait to get your next newsletter.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.